Hey everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today we're going to be looking at the Neca 1989 Michael Keaton as Batman action figure from the film Batman. Now this is not a new release by any stretch of imagination. I've had this figure for a few years now, but I've had a few people request me to review this guy, so here it is. Now I looked at the original photo I took when I bought this figure, and the timestamp said September 2nd, 2016. I remember Neca had released a Super Nintendo sort of blue version of this guy, and when asked if they could release a regular version, they said they were not allowed to release DC figures like that. But this was their answer to that. Eventually this started popping up at Toys R Us, and this thing is great. Neca does not have the DC license, and they never have. They released this figure as a Toys R Us exclusive with a loophole, making it a bundle. You buy the DVD or the Blu-ray with the figure. Now that was all some kind of smokescreen, as these figures were simply on display without the DVD. They were intended to be sold together, but you sure didn't have to do that. So let's go and check out the packaging here. Old school, got the gold, reminds you of the old Toy Biz 1989 Batman line. Very cool throwback retro packaging. The top there, Batman, ages 14 and up. Here he is, looking great. Can't really see his accessories. I believe they're in a baggie inside there. And look at the little label here. 25th Anniversary Edition, Batman Bundle, Batman Blu-ray with action figure, implying that you have to buy them together. But you sure didn't, and I don't know if Neca got in trouble for that, but they really didn't get to make a long line of 7-inch action figures. On the back side here, old school retro again. Got Batman standing there, old school like the Toy Biz line. It even has a cardboard cutout card for the figure, just like the old figures did. I think that's pretty cool. Here is the barcode, although this figure is long sold out, so I don't think that's going to help anybody. I have seen this thing over the years pop back up. I believe the Warner Brothers store had some for a while. I was fortunate to drive into Toys R Us after seeing him on the forums, and bam, he was right there. There were two of them. I ended up getting one to open and one to keep unopened. That's why I still have this guy. So with no further ado, let's check him out. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out. He does come with two alternate hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands. He also has a batarang and a grapnel gun. But before we look at these accessories, let's check out the actual figure. Now this figure is gorgeous. I would say it's definitely my top 5, 6, and 7-inch Batman figures of all time. Just absolutely blown away by the face, the head sculpt, the chin, the jaw. It looks perfect for Michael Keaton. My God, if they released an unmasked version, he would probably look so good. The eyes, the sculpt on the cowl, it all just screams 1989 Batman and looks great. The bat symbol on his chest, that unique design from that film, his sculpted muscles all over him, his six-pack, his abs, just looks so good. The cowl, he has to turn his head in one piece, just like the film. Just the attention to detail, so good on this guy. Love his utility belt, the capsules on there. This guy looks superb. Look at the gauntlets. Just everything about him is on point and excellent. Even has those unique shoes from the film. Cloth soft goods cape can stretch out like you wouldn't believe, just like in the film. Here's how he looks underneath there. This guy is superb. If you ever have the chance to get him, do so. And then here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. So now, let's go and check out his accessories, starting off with his hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands, 2 fists. Then, here he is wearing his other pair of hands. His left hand here is a gripping hand with a real small hole that should hold his batarang, and his right hand is pretty open and should hold his grapnel gun. Now let's look at his batarang. This thing here is shaped like the bat symbol. It's got silver tips and quite a bit of sculpting in the middle. This thing looks great and almost straight out of the film. Only wish it would fold together. Really liking the detail on this. Here he is holding his batarang, getting ready to throw it at somebody. Thing fits into his hand and looks pretty good. A little bit looser in there than I'd like. Falls out kind of easy. Next, let's check out his grapnel gun. This thing has some gold, some silver, a lot of black, and a ton of sculpting detail. You can see the gold grapnel about to shoot out of there. A lot of sculpting all across this thing, and it's different on the other side. A lot of detail, like it a lot. Here he is holding his grapnel launcher. Fits in his hand perfect and looks great. And then while on the subject of their accessories, there were 2 other identical figures released with this sculpt from Neca, and they all came with the same accessories. The far left, we've got the Super Nintendo 1989 Batman with a blue tint. Then we've got this 1989 Batman's accessories. And on the right, 100% identical to this release, we've got the Tech Shield Batman's accessories. And don't worry, in the figure comparison part, we will check out those other figures. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, next let's check out the height of this guy. So from bottom to the top of his head, sitting at about 6.6 inches, which will translate to about 16.5 centimeters. And if you go to the top of the ears, it's about 7.0 inches. Next, let's check out his articulation. Starting with his head here, you have to move the entire cowl, and I think that's kind of cool and reminiscent of the film. Probably sheer coincidence. So his head can rotate from side to side. It's not going to go really much further than that, and it looks kind of ridiculous, as this piece really shouldn't move. In the film, the way the suit was designed, the actor had to turn his entire body to be able to turn his head. The neck did not function whatsoever. So moving further down, shoulders here, a ball joint go out just about 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. The elbows, single jointed, 90-degree bend, and has a swivel as well. The wrist is on a ball joint, can rotate around, and can kind of move around as the ball joint. It gives it a lot of freedom. No articulation in the chest at all. One solid piece here. Looks like a ball joint of some sort at the bottom above the belt. Can rotate around. Can look in and out as well. Legs go out about this far. Pretty much do splits. Nice ball joint side of there. Looks like the leg can rotate slightly against the ball. Then go forward about this far. He should be able to sit. Back, not too much. Single jointed knees, about 90 degrees, and has a swivel as well. Then the feet, of course, then go up and down. They can rotate around, and it looks like they can tilt a little bit as well. One thing I did want to point out, this guy's cape is fantastic. Cloth, soft goods, very, very stretchy. You get the bat signal, which is amazing. On the back side here, where his cowl comes down, those little sort of bat-shaped pieces, your cape can get off track very easily. You sort of pull it down, then you can kind of see a little hole there. Those little pieces can suck inside, and it looks bad. You got to kind of adjust it, move it around. Once you get exactly how it's supposed to be, it looks great, but it can look not so great with fair ease. And if you're wondering, can he sit down with his articulation? He sure can. Here he is sitting in the chair that Bat gave. Here he is in front of an old Kenner Tim Burton Batcave. This is actually the version from Batman Returns. There was a version from the original Batman film in their Dark Knight collection, but it looks like that never actually got released. They did re-release the same sculpt for both Batman Returns and Batman Forever. A little bit too small for this guy. And now, here he is next to what I believe is a Toy Biz Batmobile from the 1989 film. Once again, this thing is too small for him. It's intended for 5-inch figures, and this Neca Batman is a 7-inch figure, so he certainly will not fit in there. But damn, do they look good together. And just cuz, here it is with the shields up. And here he is next to what I believe is a Kenner Dark Knight Collection Batwing from the film. Once again, this is too small for him, made for 5-inch figures, but looks fantastic next to him. Here he is, taking out a couple of thugs on a rooftop in Gotham City, just like in the intro to the film. Here he is with his cape outstretched, just like in the film. An iconic look. Here's Batman hanging off a tall church tower, saving Vicky Vale, just like at the end of the film. Next, let's check him out compared with some other action figures, starting off with some other figures from the Tim Burton franchise. Here he is next to a Mattel Multiverse Alfred figure with a Michael Gough head on. Michael Gough was the actor that played Alfred in this 1989 Batman film. This figure looks excellent, the head is on point, and frankly, he scales up great with this Neca figure. Here he is next to a Penguin Danny DeVito figure from Batman Returns. This is the only villain they've made from the Tim Burton films in 6 and 7-inch form. I would absolutely love it if they would make a Joker from the Batman film to fight against this Batman, but as I understand it, Jack Nicholson makes it extremely expensive to get his likeness rights. Here he is next to a Mattel Multiverse Batman for Batman Forever, played by Val Kilmer. This is from the Schumacher films, not the Tim Burton films, but they're definitely an extension of the Tim Burton universe. Look how puny this Mattel Multiverse figure is and how bad he looks compared to the Neca figure. Neca would have made an excellent Batman Forever Batman. Here he is next to a Mattel Multiverse Toy Biz throwback Joker figure. This is probably the closest thing to a 1989 Joker we've ever gotten. Now you must say, this doesn't look anything like Jack Nicholson, but this was an action figure based off the old Toy Biz Joker, which was based off the 1989 Batman film. And it does look like that Joker toy, but not like Jack Nicholson. Here he is next to a figure I used for Vicky Vale. This is an old Jack's wrestling figure. I use her for Vicky Vale because, number one, she's blonde. Number two, she has a green or teal sort of outfit on, similar to the film. Then I took a camera, threw it on her neck, and it works for me. Here are the 3 different figures Neca has released with identical sculpts to this movie Batman. On the far left, I believe this is a Nintendo Batman video game figure. That's why he has that blue tint to him. In the center, obviously, we've got the film accurate Batman. And on the right, we've got the Tech Shield Batman, another Kenner throwback figure from Neca. Here are all the different Neca Batman figures they've released in the 7-inch scale. In my opinion, Neca makes some of the best Batman figures out there. Probably my favorite. It would be amazing if they could make some more, but unfortunately, that ship has sailed. And here is the entire Neca Batman and related collection. I saw an interview recently from Neca where they mentioned they had a shrunken down Catwoman and Penguin in 7-inch scale in case the opportunity ever rose to release them, but he said that's never going to happen at this point, which is very disappointing. Here he is next to a Neca 7-inch scale Christopher Reeves as Superman action figure. This was another one of those Toys R Us DVD Blu-ray action figure bundle sets. The world's finest. I can't tell you how many times as a kid I dreamed of these two guys being in a film together. It never happened, but this action figure set together is the closest we'll ever get, and boy, they look fantastic together. Here he is next to several different versions of live incarnations of Batman. From left to right, we've got Adam West as Batman, Michael Keaton as Batman, Val Kilmer as Batman, Christian Bale as Batman, and then Ben Affleck as Batman. Here he is with a couple of Mattel DC Universe Classic and Multiverse Batman figures that I believe are throwbacks to the 1989 black suit. On the left, we've got a DC Universe Classics Series 10 Batman, and on the right, we've got a Toy Biz throwback Batman. Next, let's check him out compared with some other action figure lines from different various companies to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. And I'll be throwing various Batman figures in here whenever appropriate. Here he is with some of his Neca brothers. In front of you are 5 different Neca action figures, all 7-inch scale. And here with some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then here with some McFarlane Toys action figures. Then with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And now, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. And here, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, next to some Mafex figures. And next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. So overall, I must say, this is an excellent Batman figure. I would say with complete confidence, he's in my top 5 favorite Batman figures. In fact, I'd say Neca makes at least 2 of my top 5. This one, and the Batman vs. Aliens 2-pack Batman figure. If you want to know who my favorite 6 or 7-inch Batman figure in my collection is, I must say I don't think I have an answer right now. That's something I'd have to think about for quite a while. Maybe that's a video for another day. This guy here looks fantastic. His cowl, his face, his chin screams Michael Keaton. His armor, chest, everything just looks great on this guy. The utility belt. The only thing I really have to complain about him is the sort of area at the back of his cape where you can sort of see the holes if it's not lined up right. And then the fact that he doesn't have double jointed knees and elbows. That would have just put this figure over the top. If I were to rate this figure, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. And that is a very high rating in my book. I've had this guy for more than 3 years, and I still feel this strongly about him. This figure is superb. 2 thumbs up. If you want him and you have a chance to get him, do not hesitate. This guy is amazing. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. There are a couple more versions of this figure coming out in the near future. Both Mezco and Figure Arts are making their own versions, and I can't wait to get them. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.